Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today. Top of the morning, traders. How are we? I hope you are all wonderfully well. I hope you had a good start to your trading week yesterday. We had a profitable day, so yeah, we started well. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of October, in case you wasn't sure. And we're going to do a few things today, guys. So as part of the recap of yesterday's trades, we're going to look at entering on lower time frames. Okay, so we're going to have a look at that, guys, as part of the recap. We're also going to look at today's trades, as we always do, and then we're going to look at the important news for today as well. All right, so quite an action-packed show. So let's start with, well, actually, before we start, guys, my editor will kill me if I don't mention this. So tomorrow, guys, don't forget, we got the live stream, 6:30 a.m. London GMT. Come join us for the live stream. It's probably above my head. Come on, ask me as many questions as you like. And yeah, and hopefully we can answer them all. You can also come on and talk with me one-to-one if you would like to do that. Don't be scared. If you want to do that, you can. There'll be a link below the show for you to do that. What else? We've got a Discord channel. I'm really enjoying the Discord channel, guys. You lot are sharing ideas, keeping each other out of trouble potentially, and then also giving each other some good tips for good trades. So yeah, brilliant, the Discord channel, guys. Keep it up. Keep sharing your knowledge. And also, guys, if you're interested in being mentored by myself, then please drop us an email at hellosimplyforex@gmail.com. All right, guys, that's everything. That's all the shout outs. Let's look at yesterday's trades, guys. The first one was this. This was the Swiss franc against the Japanese yen, guys. And this was a really good trade yesterday. So what we are seeing is this. So price was, yeah, clearly in an uptrend. All right, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, but then it didn't create a higher high. Okay, so guys, this is always a massive red flag that price structure could be breaking down. Yeah, if you're not getting higher highs, structure is weakening. So we then get this candle. Admittedly, this was when the Japanese government intervened. Yeah, because the yen is was crazy weak, still is crazy weak, but yeah, we're seeing a bit of a shift in strength now. But yeah, this large red candle, the Japanese government intervened. It broke these last lows here, guys. So as soon as it breaks these last lows, for me, it is in a downward structure. Yeah, it's in a downtrend. Okay, and then we had this candle here form. Okay, which is bouncing off of these last lows. Okay, so structure is in a downtrend. Let me zoom in just to show you that a little bit clearer. So remember, guys, we love this pattern. We love this pattern more than we love Gal Gadot, and I love Gal Gadot. So yeah, price broke down with this large red candle. These last lows here were broken. Once price comes back up, what was once support is now resistance. And then we get this bearish candle form at this resistance level. So the idea was just to come from our grey zone back down to our blue line. And that's exactly what happened, guys. It was a thing of beauty, this trade. Okay, so that was the trade idea. Let's look on the H1 to see what happened, because the H1 is always our execution chart time frame. Okay, so admittedly we had quite a large grey zone, guys, because there was a lot of things happening in this grey zone. But anyway, price come back up into our grey zone. So price break this grey zone and come back up. Okay. We did get this candle, so maybe some of you were already trading. So we did get this candle, and this would have been a perfectly good candle to enter on. All right, it's a very large bearish candle, large wick, rejected price, and it's bigger than the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 or so candles. So that would have been a good entry candle to come lower. Okay. However, guys, as you know, I don't start trading until the London and European opens. So I actually got in on this candle. Yeah. I wanted to get in on this candle, but instead I got on the next candle. So I got on this candle. Yeah. I had to wait for a slight retrace, guys, because H1, so here is going to be my first target. Okay, so I had to wait for a retrace. I got my retrace. I entered around here. Put my stop above here. Sorry about my lines this morning, guys. I don't know what is happening to my hands. And then I come back down. Yeah, closed my first trade here and got my risk to reward of 1:1. Okay, so at this level, as you know, guys, I always close 80%. Most of the time, not always. Sometimes I let 100% run, but I closed 80% here at these last H1 lows, got my 80%, and then I leave 20% to run down. Yeah, so the remaining 20% I close at this blue line. And this, guys, was a very beautiful, wonderful trade. Yeah, so I hope you took this trade, guys. Yeah, Swiss franc against Japanese yen. It was a great short. Arguably, guys, just to show you what I'm looking for throughout the day, once this low here is broken, yeah, you have this candle. Yeah, so this has broken the H1 lows, yeah, this low and this low. All right, and then we get a retrace back to this zone, and then it comes down again. So perhaps if you were late to the party and missed, I remember someone on Discord saying they missed the move. But here, guys, you still could have got in on this trade. Yeah, wait for the retrace to this zone. Hide above this H1 candle. Put your stop above here. Okay, and then take price back down to the blue line. So there are opportunities. If you think that you've missed the trade, sometimes you have. It's gone. You've missed it. But sometimes there are other ways we can get in on the trade. But on the whole, guys, Swiss franc, Japanese yen, beautiful trade. Then the second trade idea from yesterday was this. This was the euro against the Canadian dollar. And this is where we're going to look at entering on lower time frames. All right. But we were looking for longs on this, guys. Yeah, remember, price was clearly in an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then we had it's creating higher highs. Yeah, and then we had this candle form. Yeah, also the candle before it was super bullish. Okay, so we had these two bullish candles. So the idea was just to come from my grey zone, carry on the uptrend back up to this blue line or even the next blue line. My lines are getting better. This is good. All right, but yeah, price clearly in an uptrend. Buyers were in control. Yeah, look at those green candles. Yeah, buyers were clearly in control. But we got a very bearish candle form instead. Okay, so looking at this chart, guys, if I'm still in this trade, so I think some of you still are, I would probably take profit as soon as I can. Yeah, I think price could come back down to here. Yeah, this last high here. I think price, because of this red candle, I think sellers have enough momentum to take it to here before we shoot back off up to here. All right, I still think it's in an uptrend, but just because of that daily red candle, I think there's still a bit of movement to the downside here. Okay, but we shall see today. All right, but yeah, I wouldn't be looking for buys today. That red candle is too bearish. But let's drop down to the H1 chart now, guys. And I know on the Discord channel, yeah, when price got down to literally these last lows here, yeah, all of us started to become interested in this pair. All right, because before then, in our grey zone, yeah, this obviously isn't an entry candle, and then we just have red candle, red candle, red candle. It isn't until it gets down to this level that we start seeing some buying. All right, so yeah, I mean, arguably, guys, you could have entered on this candle a little bit aggressive. Yeah, it's not super duper bullish. Yeah, and you would have got your risk to reward of 1:1. Yeah, put your stop here, enter here. You would have had a nice trade and still be in this trade for profit. Okay, so maybe some of you did this, but remember, guys, once you get your 1:1, close 80%. You've secured that profit. Then you can let that 20% run for the next 3 years. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point. Yeah, you've closed the profit. Yeah, even if your 20% come down and got taken out, you'd still make money on that trade. Okay, so bear that in mind. All right, so you could have entered here and you would have made money and still be in it for 20%. Or this candle, guys, yeah, is also a bullish candle. Buyers are in control. Yeah, and if you did enter on this candle, put your buy here and then put your stop here. Okay, yeah, you're looking for price to, yeah, come back up to potentially these last highs would be a good target. Okay, so that would be a good target for you, these last H1 highs over here. So if you're in this trade, that would be a good target, but we do have that very bearish red daily candle. So let's see what happens here, guys. Okay, but I'm going to show you how I traded this now. Okay, but yeah, if price does get back to these last highs here, guys, you know what we're seeing. We're seeing a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so this is the shoulder, this is the head. I know you've missed this pattern, guys. I haven't mentioned it for a few weeks, but yeah, that's what I'm potentially seeing. I don't see head and shoulders patterns in my sleep anymore. This is good. Okay, so shoulder, head, shoulder. So that's potentially what we're seeing here, guys. So like I say, that would potentially be a good target. Okay, anyway, I digress. So yeah, please, if you're still in the trade, bear all of those things in mind, including the very bearish daily candle. So what we can do, guys, yeah, we can enter. It's almost, yeah, it's like scalping, but with a slightly longer term view, if that makes sense. Okay, so what we can do, guys, we can be quite aggressive and we can enter on a lower time frame. Okay, so I'm going to remove this gray zone now, guys. Actually, no, I'm going to keep the gray zone, so I'm going to show you a few things. So like I say, guys, we normally enter on the H1. Yeah, and these candles here were potentially our entry candles, even this one. All right, but that was overnight. Okay, and that's normally how we trade. But I'm going to show you something now where we can enter, we can get into the trade earlier by dropping down to a lower time frame. And the time frame I drop down to is 15 minutes. Okay, I don't like to go any lower than that. Yeah, I know some of you guys maybe look at the 5 minute when scalping, but for me, the 15 minute. The thing with this is, guys, you have to wait. So as you can see, we get potential 15-minute candles in the gray zone. Yeah, we get this one. Yeah, potentially a quick scalp, but no, not for me. This one, yeah. Okay, so you could, these are all in our gray zone, but for you to scalp, what you have to do is wait for the absolute last zone to be hit. All right, so if we go back to the H1, I'm going to remove this gray zone, and the absolute gray zone, last gray zone for it to be hit is this. Yeah. Obviously, when you're scalping, your gray zones have to be very precise. Yeah, that the gray zone I gave you, obviously this one, that is not a scalping that is not a scalping grey zone. That is a H1 entry grey zone to take it back up to the highs. But if you want to scalp, you have to have very tight, specific grey zones. Okay, so once price comes all the way down to these last lows, this is the very specific grey zone that I'm talking about. All right, we've made it down to this. Okay, so now we have a more precise grey zone, which makes it possible to scalp from. Yeah, that last grey zone did. So we then drop down to the M15 chart. We've got our grey zone mapped out. Sorry, I keep showing you my office and email things. It's my lack of control of the mouse. Okay, my head's slightly in the way. I apologize for my head again. Okay, I'm trying to zoom in as much as possible. So yeah, so this was that area from the last H1, which price really reacted from. Okay, so this grey zone makes perfect sense to come back down to. Okay, so as you can see, guys, price came back down to this grey zone. All right, in here. Now, guys, I'm going to zoom into this grey zone. There you go. There's all my office and everything again. So now, guys, price has come back down. And basically, like I look for on the H1 chart, I'm looking for a bullish candlestick pattern or a candle that tells me buyers are in control. Okay? And where do I get that? I get that with this candle, this green candle here. Okay? So this tells me buyers are taking control. This green candle doesn't. This green candle hasn't hit our grey zone. So it's this candle here that I am looking to enter on. Okay? So you can enter on the close of this candle. You can put your stops. Stops need to be tighter as well, guys. You're not going to have as much wiggle room because you don't have as much room to work with. Put your stop below the few pips below the low. Okay? And then again, how I trade on the H1 is how I trade when I look for scalping opportunities like this. Okay? So I close for a risk to reward of roughly 1:1, which is what I did last night. I got more than 1:1, to be honest. It's about 1 to 1.2, something like this. Okay, so this is my risk. Yeah, the size of this M15 candle, and then this was my reward. And as you can see, yeah, it was a bit better than a risk to reward of 1:1. I still closed 80% at this level. Yeah, and then I let 20% run. Because you've got to bear in mind, guys, my view of this chart yesterday, it's changed today, but my view of this chart yesterday was to take price all the way back up to the highs, H1 highs. Okay, so that 20%, that is still the idea for the remaining 20%. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know some of you guys wanted a few more tutorials. So that is a tutorial on entering on lower time frames. Okay, so yeah, you have to have your grey zones very precise. Okay, you still enter on the first bullish candle that tells you buyers are in control, but on the M15 chart, the 15-minute chart, and then I adopt the same techniques that I do for the H1. Yeah, when I get my risk to reward of at least 1:1, I close 80%, and then I leave 20% to run. Okay, so yeah, so I hope that helps, guys. I had a profitable trade trading this yesterday. So yeah, let me know how you traded this pair, guys. All right, guys. So yeah, that was Euro Canadian dollar. We also made a nice profit on this, scalping from this grey zone here. All right, guys. The third and final trade idea from yesterday was this. This was oil. Okay. And remember, we were looking to short this pair. So price was clearly in a downtrend. It's not a pair, it's a commodity. Yeah, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And then I was seeing some reaction here, guys. So we had this bearish candle. After a doji candle, we had a bearish candle. So the idea was just to come from this grey zone back down to the lows. Okay. But as you can see, guys, that didn't happen. Yeah, and this green candle, yeah, broke above this last grey zone. So we're not interested in shorts again today, guys. Okay, but if we drop down to the H1, this just goes to show how important, I have to stress it, how important having your criteria ready before you even trade. So remember, guys, what I told you yesterday, I had a very clear vision of how I'm going to trade this pair. You have to visualize how you are going to trade this commodity. Okay, so when I had my grey zone mapped out, yeah, and remember, guys, I said to myself, in this grey zone, yeah, if we get a bearish candlestick form, yeah, and come back lower, I will look for lows. Okay, but if my criteria isn't met and this grey zone is broken, which this candle does, then I will stay out of this pair. Okay, so before I've even traded oil, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, and then sure enough, guys, this H1 candle that I've highlighted come up, broke the grey zone, and for me, no trade. For the rest of the day, I don't care if it's my only trade idea. I will have no trades for that day if need be. Okay, and then as you can see, price came up and now it used that grey zone as support, which is no surprise. Okay, all right, guys, so yeah, visualize what you are going to do on that H1 chart before you even do it. It will keep you out of so much trouble. You don't want to be at a point where you're looking at a trade and you're asking yourself, should I? Or maybe, oh, it could do this, maybe it could do that. No, you need to have a clear picture before the day has started what you will do at your grey zone. Okay, guys, remember that, very important. Okay, guys, so they were the free trade ideas yesterday. Great trade on the Swiss franc, Japanese yen, a little profitable scalp on the euro, Canadian dollar, and US oil, no trade. Okay, so let's take a look at today's trades now, guys. So a nice profitable day yesterday, guys. I hope you followed some of the trade ideas. Also, hope you enjoyed the small tutorial that we did about entering on lower time frames. So if you missed that, it's in the recap. Check it out. And if you did enjoy the recap, then please subscribe to the channel, smash that notification button, and also smash the like button, guys. Help support our channel. Thank you very much. A few shout outs before my editor pulls my fingernails out. Yeah, so guys, remember the live stream tomorrow. Above my head, 6:30 London GMT, live stream. Ask as many questions as you like. You can even come on and talk to me one-to-one if you wish. There'll be a link below the video tomorrow. What else is there? Discord channel. We're getting a great group of traders together in our Discord channel now, all helping each other out, coming up with some great ideas. So if you want to join that, the link is in the comments below this video. And finally, guys, if you're interested in a mentorship program being mentored by myself, then please email us at hellosimplyforex@gmail.com. Okay, guys, that's all the stuff to keep my editor happy. Good boy. Right, trades for today, Tuesday, the 4th of October. So we've got 4 trades, but 3 of them are the same. Let me explain. So I'm looking at Aussie dollar, US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, and US dollar CAD, guys. But they are all pretty much the same trade. We've literally just had the interest rate decision of Australia come out, and that was worse than expected. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but just to take a quick look now, it had a bit of a reaction down, but then it's shooting back up. So it'd be interesting to see where this H1 candle finishes. But yeah, let's see. But let's go back to the day chart, guys. So what I'm seeing on all of these US dollar pairs that I'm willing to trade, these 3 US dollar pairs, is this, guys, basically. So we've had a very bullish start with trend. Tom, start with trend. So this is an against trend trade. Any US dollar pair and you're going against the dollar will be an against trend trade. But price, as you can see, is clearly in a downtrend. Okay, but now we've got this little, you know, I like to call them the box of indecision. I might make a book called the box of indecision. Okay, I don't know, being silly. Okay, so we've got this is the day chart. Price has come down and we've got this box where price is going up, down, yeah. Price pretty much doesn't know what to do. Yeah, I can't. People are thinking this is so overbought. So oversold. The US dollar's been strong for too long, and then you've got buyers entering the market because of that. And then you've got sellers meet buyers, and then you've got this indecision, this box of indecision. All right, guys. So our trade idea is basically a break of this box. So what I want to see is price come out, test this grey zone, and then we have room to move into. Okay, I think we have room to at least this first psychological level. Okay, you know I like the psychological levels, guys. So that would be my first target. Okay, 600. All right, but let's go down to the H1 now, guys, to see how to enter this trade. And it's basically how I said on the day chart, guys. Yeah, we've got this is this indecision that I'm talking about. Okay, so what we want to see, guys, is a break out of this grey zone for a H1 candle to stay broken above this grey zone. We want price to come back, test this grey zone, and we get a bullish reaction. Okay, if price starts closing back into this range, yeah, the trade becomes less appealing. But you might get price come down to here, then we see a bullish reaction. Okay, and then once we get that, guys, we can enter the trade and then take price back up to this blue higher time frame target. All right, guys, so yeah, it's one of our favorite patterns. The old, what was once resistance, when it breaks, becomes support. We use that support and then we go higher. All right, guys, so that's what I want to see on Aussie dollar, US dollar. If that doesn't happen, guys, price could just come back into this range. Yeah, come back here and come back up here, then come. Yeah, so we need a break of that indecision, that zone. Okay, so guys, Aussie dollar, US dollar. Remember, guys, we'll visualize what you are going to do before you even do it. Okay, I haven't even started trading yet, and I already know what I'm going to do on the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, the same is for the New Zealand US dollar, guys. Yeah, highly correlated, exactly the same trade, really. Just trade the one that gives you the best setup. But this is an against trend trade. You know, price is clearly in a downtrend. Again, we've got this box of indecision. And all I want to see, guys, is a break of this box of indecision. A break, yeah, retest, and then we can get in. Okay. My target here, I also look at the moving average 20, guys. So my target here would probably be around 5,850. Okay, we have room to move into up to this moving average 20, which is like a dynamic resistance or support if you're buying. So it can be a good target. Okay, so that's the day chart. Yeah, so what we want to see, identical to the Aussie dollar. Yeah, we want to see, zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, we want to see a break of this grey zone, a retest. We want to see a bullish reaction. And then we can get into this and take it back up to this blue line, guys. Okay, so New Zealand US dollar, if we get a break of that box of indecision, then we can enter, guys. All right, exactly the same trade, but just flipped. Yeah, this is US dollar against the Canadian dollar. Yeah, clearly in an uptrend. Okay, we've got this box of indecision again. I might coin this phrase, see if I can get it patented. Don't know if that's possible. So, yeah, we've got this box of indecision. We have got this large red candle as well, like we had with New Zealand US dollar and Aussie dollar US dollar. We still had these very bullish candles coming off the lows, as we have this very bearish candle coming off the highs with US dollar CAD. But again, we want to break this box, retest, come back down. All right. Yeah, my first target here would probably be this 3,500 level. All right, got a bit of room to move into, even down to this 3,400 level. Yeah, this could be your second target if price does break that box. Okay, still a big if, guys. Okay, so if we look at H1 now, guys, yeah, we've got price literally as we speak trying to break this zone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. If it doesn't, guys, price could quite easily come all the way back up to here. Yeah, we have to wait for a break. Yeah, because this box is all powerful. This is the box that we're talking about. Yeah, this is the box that we're seeing on the day time frame. Just want to break. We want to retest. We want a bearish reaction. And then we can take price lower. Okay. Yeah. So that's the three US dollar pairs. They're the identical trade, really, guys. So trade the one that gives you the best setup, or even split your normal trade size across 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, this is also an idea. And the fourth and final trade for today is this. This is the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. So, speaking of box of indecisions, I know that's all I keep saying, but this is exactly that. Yeah, this zone here was a box of indecision. All right. So remember, guys, we were long in this last week, in fact. So price for me is still in an uptrend, only just. Yeah, so higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then price has come back down, but hasn't broke these lows here yet. Okay, and instead we've just had a box of indecision. Okay, so we've got our box of indecision, but this box of indecision has been broken. Yeah, if we look at yesterday's candle, it has just broken out of this box. Okay, so we like this trade, guys. I like this trade. Yeah, so all I want to do is come from our grey zone up to this blue line, the psychological level of 10700. Okay, guys, so that's the idea. It's a really nice setup when you get a lot of indecision followed by a strong candle. Yeah, whether it's bullish or bearish, whether you're longing or selling, you know, it's a good setup because price is like, I don't know what to do with myself. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, it's basically what's happening. So we like this trade, guys. So just to take price back up to this, basically these highs from over here. Okay, and this psychological level. All right, so that's the day chart. That's our why. Why do we want to buy it? And now we're going to go to the H1 chart where we visualize how we are going to trade it. Okay, so I've got my gray zone in here, guys, but price is shooting off already. So there's a couple of things we can do here. So price could come back into this gray zone, guys. If it does, wonderful. We'll get into the trade. We wait for a bullish reaction. We'll get into the trade. We'll close 80% of the trade at the last H1 high. We don't know where that is yet. The H1 high hasn't finished forming, but we'll close 80%. Okay, and then we'll leave 20% to run. Okay, so that would be a wonderful trade. What I'm seeing now, though, guys, is price is shooting off. Yeah, price is really shooting off. So potentially this last H1 high could be a zone. Okay, so if price continues to shoot off, what we could get is a retest just of these last H1 highs here. Okay, and then we get a bullish reaction, and then we can enter the trade as well, guys. Okay, remember, close 80% at 1:1 roughly, and then let 20% run. Okay, guys, but Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen, we are looking to buy this pair today, and this is the criteria in which we can trade it. Okay, so guys, yeah, they're the 4 trade ideas for today. 3 are the same, and we've got Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. So guys, yeah, that's it. Let's take a look at the news now. Guys, if you're enjoying this daily morning analysis, I hope you are, then please come join us. Subscribe to the channel, smash that notification button, and then also smash that like button, guys. Help support the channel. Thank you very much. So guys, overnight, China's still on holiday. But the big news overnight, guys, was the Royal Bank of Australia interest rate decision. Okay. And as you can see, guys, that's already been released. And that was worse than expected. But the Aussie dollar, US dollar is not coming crashing down as you would expect. So it'll be interesting to see what was said in the rate statement, guys. There must be some information in there that's pushing the Aussie dollar back up, okay? Because the interest rate was a miss, 25 basis points miss. So, yeah, it's basically the rate statement. Something in there is driving the Australian dollar up. But that's been and gone, guys. Okay, so the first piece of news that we're interested in is this. At 3 o'clock, we've got some employment data coming out of the US. It's a 3-star rating, so this could move any US dollar pair. All right. And then an hour later, at 4 o'clock London GMT, we've got the head of the ECB speaking, and that's another 3-star rating, guys. So that could really move any euro pair. When Lagarde speaks, the euro listens. The world listens, to be honest. But that's it, guys. So that's the news for today. I hope you've enjoyed the vid. If you have, please subscribe, like, and share. I hope you have a fantastic trading day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.